I think we're back. Stand by, folks, while we double check a couple of things with our executive producer, and let's see if we can find out where we are. Okay, Mr. Producer, I'm looking for the link on this, and I'm back. I don't know if anybody can see me. Uh, Interview box here at the bottom. It says copy link. Let's see if I can send it out to you guys and you can get it because nobody's on the show. There was one person watching. All right, stand by, folks. Working through some complications here. I'm going to send this out to you, Brendan, and see if we can get this new link, whatever it is. Okay, folks, let's see if you can get us now. We're having problems with our tech tonight, our new software. So we're live with Kyle Curtis, and I hope you're hearing me out there okay. Let me know if you're not. We'll work on what we can do here. So our executive producer has been on the line trying to help us, and for whatever reason, people logging in can't get into the show tonight. But we do have right now by audio only. It's too bad because he's a handsome dude. You see him, you see him hanging around for quite some time. He's Kyle Curtis. He's one of our really good reporters. He does a lot of things on this show, and I want to get him back on and see what in the world is going on. Kyle, you said, "What's the show about tonight?" And I said, "Well, football and basketball and life, right?" So,
Yeah, no, it's been too long since I've been able to come on the show. It's good to be back. Happy Valentine's Day to you too, buddy.
thank you very much. I'm very happy to be married to my wife today, and grateful for the love I had in my family. Hope your day went well with all your people, your special people as well. Well, I know what kind of a fan you are. You're a huge fan.
Yes, you
And
could say that.
and I like it because your enthusiasm bubbles over, and people like it too. And like the fact that that you do your enthusiasm does work. You can it spills over. Talk to me about your experience as a writer and a fan. And what it's been
Well,
like for you these last, what, 2.5?
yeah, we're coming up on 3 years actually. But I, especially in today's age, I think, being able to come from a different perspective, really, and, especially with artificial intelligence and how the way everything's is just kind of becoming one way, it's cool to be able to see different perspectives of, different fans and different fan bases. And, that's what makes sports so cool, is being able to look at a football game and come up with 20 different reasons as to why we did lose, why we didn't lose, or so, and that's all based off bias and who you may or may not like. But I grew up going to Florida football games, going to basketball games, the whole 9 yards. And it's really just been a dream come true these past 2.5 years. Being able to look up to a ton of people in the industry that ended up being my colleagues. And, it's been a humbling experience. I've learned so much things. I've seen so many things that I probably, will be able to say for the rest of my life. I mean, not many people can say this at in a press box at the national championship for College World Series, Game 3. So it's been an absolutely incredible experience that I wouldn't trade for the world. And it's just every day I wake up just thankful. So
Just want to say it's been a pleasure for us. Now stand by. We had a breakthrough here. I don't know. We've got Brendan Martin on. He left. Are you there, Brendan? No, he's gone. Okay, he was here for a minute. So at least we know he can get in, and we'll see if others can do the same. Talk about your experience from the time you stepped forward and from the time you got involved and how nervous you were at first, and then all the experiences you've had. Talk about what that was like for young writers starting out, young media people, because you move more than write. You like to also broadcast. Talk about what it was like for you and what you can advise them.
Yeah. So, I mean, going into college, I didn't really have an idea of exactly what I wanted to do. I always knew that I wanted to do something with sports, and kind of like everyone else in the industry that I've talked to, you want to get into it because you weren't good enough to play in it. So that's kind of, I knew I wanted to do something along the line with sports. And going into college, I actually started out as sports management. And it was because, one of my parents' favorite movies was Jerry Maguire, and I wanted to be a sports agent.
Yeah, I love that movie.
Oh yeah, show me the money. But so I ended up, deciding that's not really what I wanted to do. I wanted to kind of be more involved in the actual, events, and being able to, be a part of the actual experience, because that's what I loved. Growing up as a kid, going to all the stuff, going to the stadium, getting the experience, especially in SEC. I was, Ocala was only 45 minutes away, so I was very, very, very lucky. But going into school, I was switched my major that first semester, and I got the honor of my dad called me one day and was like, "Yeah, hey, have you heard about Buddy Martin? He's a local legend in the area, and he's looking for an intern." And I'm like, I would love that, and it just felt like destiny. And we hit it off from the first time we were on the phone. And that first press conference, I remember sitting next to you and Franz at the press conference. I think I sweat through my shirt that day. My shirt was a different color, but it's been one of the coolest experiences ever. And I think my main advice to if you're a freshman, or even if you don't know what you're doing going in to college, is do what you love, and you won't work a day in your life, because college has been something that I'll remember for the rest of my life. And some of these experiences have been awesome. Just to name a few, traveling basically across the Southeast these past 2-3 years during football season. I've been trying to make at least 1 or 2 away games. Knoxville, seeing Neyland Stadium, seeing the checkered crowd. That's definitely up there.
Checkered end zones, yeah. Doug Dickey brought those in, by the way.
What's that?
Doug Dickey brought those checkered end zones in when he came with coach in there. That's a tradition.
really?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So how long has that been there? That's got to
Well,
be
since it's
it
late
it was there
'60s.
when my dad was there.
Well, it's late '60s. This is when Doug Dickey brought him in, and
But
he was
yeah,
a Gator
being
quarterback.
able to being able to travel across Southeast and see, where football in the South has really become a prominent part of every family has been awesome. And then going to Omaha with my dad and being able to share that experience with him, and it's been incredible.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna give you a chance to put your 2 cents worth in here, in terms of what you see happening in the football program. I know you're a big baseball fan too. I know Sully just got a new contract. Give me your take on how this baseball season is going to go and what you expect after covering this team closely in recent years out of the football program.
Yeah, so I guess we'll start with baseball because that's right around the corner. A lot of people don't talk about baseball transfer portal as much as the football transfer portal, but when it comes down to it, I think that it's really more of a reload rather than rebuild, in that sort of sense. Especially when you have a program with as much momentum and history, recent history, really, and being able to produce MLB and top draft picks. I mean, I saw something yesterday. Jack Caglione is ranked as the #1 collegiate prospect there for the MLB.
Yeah.
So being able to have that kind of history and being able to have that kind of pedigree, it puts you up there with Florida baseball is comparable to the Alabamas of football, the Michigans, up in Georgia. So we were able to get a lot of good transfers. We were able to return a lot of people too. I mean, we have Brandon Neely, who's coming back as one of the top closers in the country, and preseason #2. Obviously, the SEC is one of the hardest divisions in all of baseball, but I think that we're gonna have another very good year and are gonna be in the hunt at the end to go to Omaha. But with how that tournament goes, you got to get hot at the right time, obviously. But I think that pitching will be there, and especially maturity. And then when it comes to football, I would the preseason or whatever I saw those rankings came out the other day. And we had 9 of the top 25 opponents on our schedule. That's pretty heavy. So I saw that Vegas had our win total at 5.5, and I believe it was at 6.5 last year, if I'm not mistaken. But I saw our buddy Nick De La Torre said to slam the over on the 5.5. But I know Billy Napier said that this has been his most talented roster since being here. I think if he's able to get the right pieces and maybe add 1 or 2 more additions, hopefully we can get to a bowl and pull off a few good wins. But Billy Napier, he's been consistent over the past 2 years since he's been here. But I will say the crowd has been consistent as well. Every single home game that we've been to, it feels like that they've made a serious implication on the game outcome. So I think that being able to play at home for some of those big games obviously helps. But it's a tough schedule, and there's still a lot of time before that opening kickoff.
Yeah. Any predictions?
I want to think that I think my early prediction is we pulled the upset off against Texas.
Okay. Any particular reason?
I think that we're gonna have a package for DJ Lagway similar to the Chris Leak, Tim Tebow era, and that Billy Napier is gonna have a little red zone package or something like that going on for him, and that's kind of the game where Lagway solidifies himself as the future for Florida, and even if Billy Napier doesn't have that much of an improvement next season, people will still be able to be like, well, we got this guy.
Okay. Good job, Kyle. Thanks for all your good work this year. Sorry about the sound problems, but we'll get the kinks worked out of this thing and have you back again soon. All the best to you. Have a good baseball season, all right?
No worries. Happy Valentine's Day, buddy. Have a great one.
Thanks a lot. Kyle Curtis, one of our fine young writers for Gator Bay and one of our members regularly here. All right, so we're going to try something here now. I know Brendan is online now. He's there. I see him. I see Rob's box, but I don't see any Rob. And I don't know if he can hear us or not. If we pull him up with no image, what do you think, Brendan?
Yeah, give it a shot.
Okay. Okay, we got a box here, but I don't see a Rob in it. Rob, are you there?
Yeah, just getting the link. Here we go.
We got you, Rob. You're on the air. We just
We got you on the air right now. Just no image. If you want to try it, hang up and try to call back. It's not on your end. It's on ours. We apologize.
I'm getting the link.
All right.
I've got the link here.
You have to hang up and do it and redo it.
Yeah, it's not your fault, Rob. It's on this.
I'll click you off and you click that link on. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. Well, it always happens at the inopportune times, Brendan. This is Rob coming back on. He's back on again, but there's no image of him again.
Yeah, let's see.
He's gone.
Well, yeah, okay. Well, it could be a myriad of things, buddy.
All right, let's do this. Let's just go ahead and put Rob up, and we can talk. All right. Let's go put Rob up. Rob, we don't see you, but we hear you. How you doing?
Good. I hope y'all can hear me. I clicked on the link and it's just not opening up, but I can hear y'all and see y'all.
Yeah, it's not on your end. It's something to do with Iris. I got a new camera. I got new software. I got new stuff up here in my office, and it's not all clicking right now. But good to talk to you again, by the way. It's been a while. I apologize for the technical problems on my end that I've created. And you know about those, right? Huh?
Far from it's just live podcast or anything. Don't worry about that at all.
Exactly.
My life is just one emergency call after the next. I feel like I'm the 911 of live streaming.
George Strait wrote that great song. They call me the fireman. That's Brendan. Putting out fires all over all over the Florida Panhandle. I'm in Atlanta right now, but who cares, man? Listen, I've been listening to your show with Allie and Kyle, and this is great stuff. And I'm watching the Auburn game. Tigers up pretty big over South Carolina right now, but hell, Florida won again last night. That Todd Golden's good. He's good.
Give us your take. Let me just say, if you can't see him, a lot of you know Rob Brown from SEC Sidelines. He has a new executive producer, which looks a lot like the guy on the screen. They're doing a kind of a new show. When you do something new, you have to get the kinks worked out tonight, like having a new studio in Northwest Florida. And our
Rob and I just start drinking in the mornings now, which just makes our coffees a lot better.
Yeah.
Irish coffee.
The Irish coffee is all it is.
Bailey's.
My life is just trying to explain to people how to do things without being in the room. It's a real wonderful effort, a practice for me to use my words. So,
Rob, while you're sitting there doing nothing, email me.
No, look, stuff like this happens. I've been listening to y'all.
Rob, while you're sitting there doing nothing, email me a picture, to me, and I'll put it up. All right, and then go and tell the story. Okay. Yeah, Rob Brown. He's downtown Rob Brown. He's been around a long time, Brendan, and I started going to his show 3 years ago, maybe, whatever it was. He does it 6 days a week. I don't have to tell you, Brendan.
Rob, I'll get the picture for you. Don't worry. I got it. I'll send him a picture.
All right. Just email it to me, Brendan. You there, Rob?
Yeah. Okay, we lost him because you can't see. You and Rob are about the same technical.
We are.
So
we are.
Just ask Rob to do something that if I asked you to do the same thing, you'd be like, "What? I did." But where do I got to do that?
We're not all gifted like you are, Brendan. We're just a
couple of dudes. You guys are just going to make me drink, and I have one right here. So I'm just going to have a sip of it right now.
And that'll always solve your problem, that's for sure, yeah.
Great vodka is all I'm doing. Anyway, we're doing a show, Rob and I. It's kind of around the SEC. Taking on a different a different grouping of teams every week. Or every day of the week, so Monday through Friday. So the 4 and 3 today was Tennessee, Auburn, and Arkansas, and we're talking to members of the media from each market, or not market, but each school. And then every week we bring it in, and Rob does a fantastic job. It's on at 9 a.m. Eastern, right here on this channel. So you can check it out. It's called SEC Sidelines or SEC Sideline Sports. And we are talking all sorts of talking a lot of round ball. There's Rob. You can bring him.
Yeah, I'm back here.
There you go. Hey, Rob. There you go.
All right. Sorry about that. I know you can't do two things at once. I can't either. I have a hard time doing it. So, but you're back. Let's focus on for a second. Brendan's talking about your show. A lot of people know Rob. First of all, he pinched it for us at SEC Media Days. He's been doing this a while. Rob, what was the day first day I was on your show?
I think it was September 11th of 2021. You were driving with Brendan in the car from Ocala up to Gainesville for the game against Alabama, which was a pretty damn close game. You said, this is the way the old Gators drive from Ocala to Gainesville. So, I mean, I have watched you for years on Paul Feinbaum and just different shows, the Buddy Martin show. And you reminded me of a lot of Jimmy Johnson, or there's a fisherman named Jimmy Johnson, because I was like, Buddy Martin, this guy, it almost was like you're bigger than life character. But the more I'm learning about you from Brendan and from you about back in 1992, winning the Emmy at CBS Sports, the NFL pregame show. Wow, you were the guy, the sports writer, the sports editor of the New York Daily News, doing that. That's pretty cool to see what this has turned into. But hey, we'll get through this technical stuff. It's nothing but a pothole in the road of life.
Before you go, I got to get you to give us a couple of your imitations. You do great voices. I always laugh at those when I'm on. Let me just say this right now, as evidenced by the fact that nobody knows, it's always different, and we all struggle. We've been doing this a long time. We've been down this dusty road many a time. We've had many looks, including one tonight. A couple nights ago, we had an enormous audience. Things are going great technically and everything else. Tonight, we can't get arrested. We have problems everywhere we turn.
I was running the show that night. We had so many on. So, I'm just saying, I was doing the show then.
Yeah, well, I'll be glad to have you run mine, but you're busy doing Rob.
My name on this show tonight. This is not. I'm just like the 911 operator. 911. What's your emergency?
Yeah, mine is. Go ahead, Rob.
No, I'm just saying stuff. The cool thing about the podcast world, though, is like Brendan and you have said, people want to drill down local. And we're building this Sidelines SEC Sports Network. Fans around the country, around the world with the web like it is, you can get the 40,000 feet above ground flyover view, the networks, ESPN, Fox, whatever. We're trying to cover 133 Division I schools, the Power Five, the Group of Five. And then, they give you a cursory flyby. Here, you know the names of the players, where they came from, what they eat. That's the credit to what y'all are doing. And that's what I love doing. And I am a history junkie. And Brendan and Buddy, we talk about it a lot. But without the great storytellers to tell us the legends and who these people are, I mean, we lose that connection. And so the cool thing that I love seeing is the connection you bring. It's like, I told Paul Feinbaum, I called a show about 3.5 years ago, and I was like, you're the connector to the past, the present, and the future. Well, it's because he has guests like you. And what Brendan's doing is really cool because you can put B-roll and video on there. And what's going on down at Florida, there's really GatorbaitMedia.com, what y'all are doing. You're talking about Florida and the SEC, but Lauren, what do you got? Well, there I got Brendan. I love going into these characters and these radio people, but think about Lauren Smith. Since 1972 on the Georgia Network.
Give us a little Larry Munson and Lauren Smith.
Well, the thing about Larry Munson that was you just had to love it. Like the Clemson game in 1984, they're playing in Athens, and he goes, Kevin Butler, now they're going to ask him to come out here and kick it from 100,000 miles. When he kicked that 60-yard field goal to win the game. And I think about Michael Haynes catches the pass, and 2001 in Knoxville from David Green, the quarterback. We just stepped on their face with a hobnail boot. I mean, the radio guys, Mick Hubert, I would love to have him on the show. And the guys that are the radio, I told someone that's really talented, a creative person, I said, your backers need to just get out of your way and let you create. It would have been like an art teacher looking over the shoulder of Michelangelo while he was laying on his back in the Sistine Chapel painting the frescoes. What I'm seeing, buddy, you keep getting better with age. Then you've got Brendan working with you, working with me. That is really, really cool. It drives us a little bit crazy when technical problems happen.
Mm-hmm.
That part about it is people know that you're real. And, we both, Brendan knows this. It's never feels like work. This is more fun than anything that you can do, talking sports and history. And I want to do some stuff with you. I want to start talking about the Skywriters, okay? The Skywriters. We grew up hanging on every word that sports writers like you, Dan Jenkins, Jesse Outler, Furman Bisher, Jack Hairston wrote. I still remember 43 years ago when the trunk opened with David Housel at Auburn, I got to meet Jack Hairston. I was in high school. I still remember that because that's the guy from the Gainesville Sun. That's before TV. That's right when ESPN came out. So don't ever stop being who you are. That's the whole point. And what Brendan's doing is making you more in the vernacular. People say, wow, this is this great sports writer. There would be no CBS pregame football shows. Nobody else would have done it if you hadn't have done it back in 92. Now it's in the genes for Brendan. It's fun.
Well, I'm going to speak out of school here a little bit, maybe, nobody's listening tonight, so it's okay. only got about 20 people. I want to say two things, just from the heart, and I mean them both from the bottom of my heart. Number one, Brendan Martin is a genius, okay? I told him today, Brendan, I don't know anybody in the universe who could have built and done what you did. I'm from the bottom up, scratch. It's like, okay, let's throw him back there, let him invent. He was part of the first streaming ever on television. He streamed the pregame, postgame show from the national championship game with the Florida Gators in 2008.
I will have you know that I was pushing cables at Red Rocks for the first ever live stream from Red Rocks for super group of Sean Colvin, Bruce Hornsby, and Jackson Brown. And it was one of the very first live streams ever done on the internet. That was my very first job in the business. So that goes back 22 years now, I think. So
yeah,
I'm the OG of streaming. All right, that's all I got.
Well, Buddy told me about you. He kept telling me he knows all this stuff. He's so far ahead of the curve, and he really underrepresented what you're able to do. And it gets me, I get a little bit wound up, but bottom line is when you're doing live radio, TV, podcast, whatever, it's like you talk to a pilot flying a 747 from New York, JFK to Heathrow. Halfway across the Atlantic, you lose an engine. Well, I got three others. This is how you got to look at it. And you got Brendan.
And then you just call me. You just call me, and I'm the air traffic controller. It says, turn left, bearing 265. I can't turn back. Shut up and turn left.
Trust me on this one, fellas.
The show goes on, Rob. The show goes on.
No, it does. It does. I just think the coolest thing is Franz Beard, Ben Troop, and you.
Well, I don't know if we lost Rob or not, but I want to wait.
I believe it is your internet, buddy. I want to say it's your internet. That is the issue.
Well,
you must be far away from your Wi-Fi route.
I'm not, but it's okay.
Oh. No, it's the internet. Because I can see everything sort of struggling there. Buddy, I think we should call it a night. Because
I wanted to say something to Rob if he comes back on. I was going to finish.
Just call him on the horn.
Okay, call him on the horn. All right, hold on a second. Yeah, folks, we do appreciate you hanging in with us. It's been a hard day. I know you don't care about it. You got your own problems, but we promise you this will get better. Believe it or not, we got high hopes for things. And let's see if I can get him on the phone here. Okay, I think I've got Rob on the phone. Do I have you, Rob? Okay, we'll try this a different way. I want to finish this up because I had something important I wanted to say to you. All right? I told you what I thought about Brendan, and I said it to his face today, that he is really in. You know, I'm going to start calling him Marconi.
Yeah.
Because Marconi invented radio. Brendan's kind of helped invent streaming. And so he is, I think I'll call him, if I had him again as a baby, I'd call him Marconi Martin. Okay? Because he is really good at what he does. Now, let me say something else to you in all seriousness. Since you put this out here, and this is premature, you mentioned about us doing stuff together. I would like to invite you here publicly right now with all 13 people listening to come join me, and let's do something together and be great. Let's reinvent what we're doing here and throw in together and make this SEC network sidelines something really special and rare with the players and teams we got and guys and writers, whatever. We would love to sit down with you and have a business discussion about being on the same team.
Absolutely. And I mean, what I love is the fact that, you know, the SEC, we learned it during the pandemic. We got to have each other. And covering all these schools, and we're bringing in Texas and OU, it's just going to be even more fun. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's the thing about it. And the Gator Nation, I think Florida has over 500,000 alumni. Just look around the league. Look how many Texas has, Oklahoma, all these other schools. We're really, you know, sometimes you got to slow down to get faster, and that's pretty much what we're doing right now. But I absolutely am honored and want to be a part of it. Love what you're doing. And you were one of those rock stars that when I got your contact information from Lauren Smith, I was like, holy cow, and you came off the show, and I was like, everybody's like, you got to get that guy back on. He's awesome. I said, he really is. And then the genius behind all this is Brendan. I mean, and Audrey, my wife. And
let's give it up for Audrey, too. I'm a big fan of hers.
She's a saint.
You can't forget Audrey.
She's a saint, no question.
And don't forget your daughter.
I absolutely want to do it. And nobody can tell the stories like you and what you can do. And because you've written about them, and you have the relationships, and you've had those. And as a public sports fans and all like that, we more than ever have got to treasure sports writers like you and, you know, Tony Barnhart. You know, I love Scott Rabelais, who covers LSU. They cover they're all graduates of LSU or Georgia or your Florida or whatever, but you're able to cover all the schools in the conference and around the nation. So, yeah, absolutely. History, traditions, and heroes. That's what we're all about.
I've always kind of secretly thought maybe one day that we'd do something. And I'll just say my late wife, when I started going on with you. And they'd say, well, who is this guy? And I said, well, he's a guy up in Arkansas and Alabama and knows a lot about sports. And I says, I don't know whether or not I'm going to be able to continue to do this because I'm maxed out, you know, but I like the guy. I like doing it. She said, I got a good feeling about him. I think you should keep doing it.
That's awesome. Listen, you ain't maxed out, buddy. Just like, you know, you and friends, and y'all get on here at night, and Brendan behind the scenes, and then he's on there with us and all. Don't even think about slowing down, because the young writers, and I have an intern, William Halliday, writes for the Auburn Plainsman. He's already said a few weeks ago, he said, hey, I want to be part of the Buddy Martin, you know, intern program. So you got a lot to offer. You're not even, you know, you're sharp as ever, but nobody can tell a story and with the rich, authentic drawl that you can. I mean, that's what's so cool. You lived all over the country, but you've never left your Florida roots, and I think it's awesome.
Thank you. Brendan's getting bored with us. But here's the thing I wanted to say. I want to be sure to mention my sponsors tonight, because I kind of have not done a good job. The folks at Renstar, I'll tell you more about them a little later. And, of course, the people at Meldon Law, and also Titan MRI. They make it possible. But I want to say one thing to you and to Brendan. I think there's some new things to be done and some old things to be done. And one of the things I want to do personally is more writing. Sometimes I want to break off, and Brendan will hate this, and do a non-sports story as a personal story, every now and then. And I've got one coming up that will blow your socks off, I think. It's not about the Gators. I want you to tell me, Rob, does this title intrigue you? Okay. Here's the title. A misplaced yearbook, lost wedding ring, and a rediscovered new love. That's my life in essence in the recent weeks. Okay.
Yeah.
And each of them has a story. And really, they're kind of incredible. What does it have to do with sports? Maybe nothing. On the other hand, there's lessons to be learned from sports about life for sports. And I've been learning recently in recent weeks, sometimes you got to look for something under your nose. It's right there. I've been looking for things recently, a couple of things. One's a yearbook. I've been looking for it for 4 years. I looked up in my television set a couple of days ago, and right below there, underneath it, was that yearbook. Been sitting there all this time. I didn't see it, all right? I had a ring from my mother's hand that she worked on. She worked scrubbing floors during the Depression to keep that wedding ring. When she died, I went to my sister, and my sister died, I went to my niece. And when I got married, my niece gave it to Dawn to wear. In the week of the wedding, we misplaced the ring. We could not find the ring. So that'll curl your hair. And that's it. Anyway, but has happy endings. I want to say, I don't know the final outcome of everything except to say, sometimes you got to look right under your nose, Brendan. It's right there, okay? And I remember one story for you and your mom that she used to love to tell. And Brendan hates this story, but I'm sorry. We were trying to save the Marion Theater, downtown Ocala, many years ago. We were trying to get some people stirred up about it. And Brendan came out to shoot a video. And he shot a video while we were broadcasting from there of the old Marion Theater. He went home. He didn't like what he had. He went back out and shot it again at night. Came back to put together a wonderful video and got the right music with his sister's help, and put out a marvelous 3-minute piece on the Marion Theater that made you cry. And when his mother saw it, she said to him, Brendan, don't ever do anything else.
Wow. That's why you're a writer. I mean, that's an incredible story.
So my man, you said it publicly. You're stuck now, Brendan. He's stuck. He came back out.
He pulled you in, Rob. You're done. He gets you like that. Tearjerker. He gets you with tearjerker.
The ability to be able to tell a story like that is what sets you apart from 99.9% of the people out there. So just be Buddy Martin. That's the only thing you can do. But just don't change for anybody and keep doing what you're doing. I don't care how many writers are coming along and throwing up these short stories and hoping they stick. Write the way you write and don't change it.
And we're going to get Rob and Buddy are putting them together, and they're going to do these history of as according to where Buddy was at the event and when he was covering it, and then Rob is he's such a history buff, and they're going to talk about it, and Rob's going to ask him questions about it. We're going to do these 30-minute shows, and it'll be like a mini 30 for 30, but have Buddy talk about it and Rob ask questions. I think that's going to be a dynamic show. We're going to start doing that hopefully about once a week here. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah, Brendan, I was there when Marconi invented that radio. You know that.
Yeah, I know it. Yeah, that and you got Miracle on Ice. You got
we got a few things.
So many great ones out there that we got to get this verbal history down. So that's good. I think we lost Rob. I think his phone.
So it was a good night, even with bad technology. I just want to say a couple things here. We talk about Titan MRI, North Central Florida's newest
I'm going to
premier.
let you do that so I can get my daughter to bed. So
Okay.
I'm going to say goodnight.
Good night.
Late.
Thanks.
All right. Good night. Talk to you.
All right. Well, folks, thanks for striking through this night tonight. Unbelievable. We'll get there. We'll get back. Thank you for hanging in with us. I want to tell you about Titan MRI, Florida's newest premier independent diagnostic testing facility. Excited to let you know that Titan MRI is now open, serving the greater Gainesville and North Central Florida area. We're focused on you, the patient, having a great customer service experience. You have no appointment. You can call same-day service and use cash or card to come up there and experience what people know. They have a busy lifestyle. We know that, but they're available by appointments in evenings if you'd like, and weekends. How about that? Make it easier. You hate to have those MRIs sometimes, but you need to have them. The hours are not convenient. Well, they got the kind of equipment that's modern, make it easier for you. They have better flexible schedules. They have that 71 centimeter MRI unit, which allows comfortable scanning for potential claustrophobic and larger patients. I've been through that. Some of you may have too. So check them out, TitanMRI.com. And of course, those of you who listen to the show know that we appreciate all of our sponsors, one of them being Renstar. I want to tell you about their clinical trials. Clinical trials, Renstar, are very much a part of what they represent. They exist to bring new therapies to the public safely, and clinical trials would not exist without the commitments of the volunteers, which would be you. If you decide to participate, you may receive study-related medications and procedures at no charge to you or your insurance. You may gain access to new investigational medicines or devices that are not otherwise available and receive compensation for your time and travel. As a research site, Renstar Medical Research is dedicated to bringing new opportunities to participate in medical science to our local community. That's Renstar Medical Research, seeking tomorrow's answers for the health questions of today. All right, been a real good night for us tonight, but we made it through. Thank you for listening and watching. We're back tomorrow night with our Orange and Blue Blood gang, and we promise we'll get better, and things will get better on this end. So with all that being said, I'll say good night from my studios here in Panama City, Florida, and back at you tomorrow. Good night.